Okay, let me ask you this. How many productivity videos or articles did you maybe look at just this month? Think about that number.
No.
Now, the real question is, how many of those amazing plans, those new systems, actually made it past, say, day one? Or even the first 24 hours?
Yeah, that gap. That's the core issue, isn't it? That huge burst of inspiration, you feel great, ready to go, and then, poof, it fades.
The motivation hangover.
Exactly. That's what this system we're looking at calls it. And it's apparently the big reason why, studies show something like 92% of people who set these big goals, they just never get there.
92%, wow.
Because they're stuck waiting to feel like doing the work, waiting for the motivation fairy.
Right. And that's why today we're doing a deep dive into a philosophy that basically says forget motivation. We're exploring SWLUX. For anyone who hasn't heard of them, they're not about rah-rah inspiration. They position themselves as more of a behavioral research group.
That's right. They focus on taking behavioral science and condensing it down into really practical, effective systems designed to be permanent.
So they kind of reject the idea that you need to feel good to get stuff done.
Totally. Their whole argument is that motivation, it's temporary by nature, it comes and goes. Discipline, though, that's what you build. That's permanent. They want to give you the structure for action that works even when you're not feeling it.
Okay, so our mission today is basically to cut through the noise. We want to pull out the practical techniques, the warnings about what not to do, and the actual templates SWLUX uses.
Yeah, get those intentions into real automated action. Find that 20% of the system that gives you, 80% of the results.
What makes their approach different? You mentioned a few things.
Well, three main things stand out. First, it's relentlessly practical. It's about systems you can do, not just abstract ideas.
Okay.
Second, they've boiled it all down into these 20 specific battle-tested techniques, very focused. And third, they really believe in making accountability physical, tangible, like actually signing a commitment pledge, something you see every day.
Makes sense. And they seem to have this core mantra that sums up that commitment, that self-belief. It's not gentle encouragement, is it?
No, it's pretty direct. It's a challenge, really. The phrase is, "Ku darta hai tu yar, kud bedav laga."
Which means?
Essentially, why are you scared, friend? Bet on yourself. It's about confronting that fear of committing, of actually backing yourself.
I like that. Okay, so let's unpack the system that helps you place that bet. Where do we start? Productivity.
Yeah, let's start there. The SWLUX system breaks its 20 points into 3 buckets. Productivity, handling your time, warning behaviors what to avoid, and growth building for the future. So, productivity first. Quick wins.
First up is Pomodoro. We've probably all heard of it, 25 minutes on, 5 minutes off, but they add a twist, right? A strict rule.
A very strict, non-negotiable rule. During that 25-minute work block, your phone cannot just be silent or face down. It has to be physically gone.
Gone, like out of the room.
Drawer, another room, doesn't matter. Just not within reach. The thinking is, the moment you leave the option for that distraction easily available, you're basically pre-programming failure into that focus block.
Okay, that level of discipline makes sense, especially when you hear their take on multitasking, because I know I sometimes think I'm being super efficient juggling things.
Yeah, we all fall into that trap. But SWLUX is pretty blunt here. They say multitasking doesn't really exist.
It's just task switching.
Exactly. Rapid task switching. And they put a number on the cost. Every time you jump from something complex, check email, reply to a quick message. It takes your brain, on average, 23 minutes to get fully back into the zone on the original task.
23 minutes lost focus per switch. Ouch. Okay, that alone is a huge argument for single tasking.
Definitely. So the idea isn't just filling time, it's protecting specific blocks for one thing only. Time blocking becomes key.
Which brings us to what gets that protected time. That's the Eisenhower matrix, right? We all know urgent and important, the fires. But where should we really focus?
According to SWLUX, the gold is in the important but not urgent quadrant.
The strategic work. The planning, the learning, the relationship building.
Precisely. The stuff that builds the future. And if you don't explicitly schedule that stuff, like book a meeting with yourself in your calendar, it just gets swamped by the daily urgent noise. Always.
Discipline means scheduling priorities, not just prioritizing a schedule.
Got it. You got it.
And what about clearing the decks before those big blocks? The small stuff that nags at you. That's the 2-minute rule.
Yeah, I love this one too. It sounds simple, but the psychology is about protecting your cognitive bandwidth.
How so?
Well, all those tiny tasks, answer that quick email, file that paper, rinse that cup they hang around in your head as open loops. Your brain keeps nudging you about them, draining tiny bits of mental energy.
Right.
So the rule is, if it takes less than 2 minutes, just do it now.
Yeah.
Sap it. Close the loop. It frees up that mental RAM for the important work.
It's like clearing mental clutter, not just physical clutter.
Hmm.
What good is a clean desk if your head's full of mental sticky notes?
Exactly. Mental hygiene. Crucial for sustained discipline.
Okay, let's shift gears. Warning behaviors. These aren't just minor bad habits, are they? They're described as like systems of self-sabotage.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And that they often disguise themselves as something harmless or even necessary. Top of the list, the social media trap.
We know it's a time sink, but what's the hard number they use?
The average is over 3 hours a day spent scrolling. 3+ hours.
Wow, that's like a part-time job's worth of time every week.
Right. And Swlux frames it starkly. Every minute scrolling is a minute not spent building your skills, your business, your relationships, or just being present. It's a direct opportunity cost.
Consuming versus creating. That leads straight into the financial warnings, starting with EMI addiction, equated monthly installments, buying stuff on payment plans.
So this is where they get really brutally practical. The rule is simple. If you can't afford to pay the full price right now, you can't afford the item. Period.
Because of the interest.
Exactly. Those installment plans, personal loans, credit card balances, they often carry crazy high interest rates, like 18%, 24% sometimes. That interest is actively working against you, undermining any disciplined saving or investing you're trying to do.
Financial discipline. And it connects to the next one. Lifestyle inflation. That thing where you get a raise and suddenly your spending jumps even higher.
Oh, yeah. It's insidious, isn't it? Your income goes up, but your spending goes up faster. So you never actually get ahead. You're still living paycheck to paycheck, just with nicer stuff.
I remember getting my first decent bonus years ago. Suddenly, fancy coffees weren't a treat. They were just Tuesday.
Huh, exactly. It creeps up on you. The Swlux counter rule is tough but clear. Live like you're still broke until your financial foundation, your emergency fund, your investments is solid. Protect that new income. Don't just spend it.
Makes sense. Okay, final warning behavior. The mental traps. Procrastination we know, but what about analysis paralysis? That feels productive sometimes.
Right. It masquerades as being diligent, thorough. You spend weeks, maybe months, researching the absolute perfect workout plan, the perfect investment strategy, the perfect software.
And the research becomes the task instead of the action.
Precisely. It's a form of procrastination, just a smarter sounding one. The discipline here is crucial. Set a hard, non-negotiable deadline for research. Maybe 48 hours, maybe a week, depends on the task.
Yeah.
You must act. Implement the best option you have at that deadline.
Progress beats perfection.
Every single time. Getting started, even imperfectly, is better than waiting for a perfect plan that never gets executed.
That commitment to action is the perfect bridge to the next part, the long game. Segment 2, growth and wealth strategies. Building something lasting.
Okay, so the absolute non-negotiable starting point here is the emergency fund. Financial discipline starts with safety. 6 months worth of essential living expenses. Saved in cash, somewhere easily accessible but maybe not too easy, like a separate savings account. This is your buffer against life surprises, job loss, medical bill, whatever. It stops you from having to go into high-interest debt when things go wrong.
Foundation first. Got it. Then, when you do start investing, what's the key rule?
Very simple. Never invest money you think you'll need within the next 5 years.
Why 5 years?
It protects you from short-term market dips. Investing is for the long haul. If you might need the cash soon for a down payment or tuition, it shouldn't be exposed to market risk.
And for that long haul, the power comes from compound interest, right?
Absolutely. And the mantra here is, time in the market is far more important than timing the market. Don't try to guess the peaks and valleys. Just start early, contribute consistently, and let compounding do its magic over decades. That's discipline winning.
Financial discipline pays off over time. Let's talk professional growth. Skill stacking. This sounds really interesting. It's not just about learning more random skills.
No, not at all. That just makes you a jack of all trades, master of none. Skill stacking is strategic. It's about deliberately combining, say, 2 or 3 skills that rarely show up together in the same person.
Like what? Give me an example.
Okay, imagine someone who is genuinely skilled in high-level marketing strategy, but also proficient data analysis, like really digging into the numbers, and has a good eye for design principles.
Okay, so you're not just a marketer. You're the marketer who can build the performance models and make the campaign look good.
Exactly. That combination creates a unique value proposition. It makes you incredibly hard to replace compared to someone who's just specialized in one of those areas. Your market value shoots up. It takes discipline to learn across those boundaries.
Building your own little economic moat. Very smart. And the ultimate financial goal of all this discipline, passive income. How do they define that endpoint?
The goalpost is clear. The point where your income generated passively from investments, businesses you don't run day-to-day, royalties, etc., exceeds your total monthly living expenses.
So your money is working harder than you are, essentially.
That's the dream, right? True financial freedom, but it's built brick by brick through all those earlier disciplined actions, saving, investing wisely, building valuable skills.
Okay, fantastic. We've got the tools, the warnings, the long-term vision, but now the critical part, actually doing it. This is where that 92% fall down. How do the SWLUX templates help bridge that gap using psychology?
Right, they tailor the approach. It's not one size fits all. They recognize different roadblocks need different tools. For instance, if your main issue is internal fear, self-doubt, lack of confidence, you use the Mindset Encourage template.
And that involves?
The core is an identity shift exercise. You start defining yourself by the action or the trait you want. Not, I want to finish projects, but I am the type of person who finishes what I start.
Ah, so you're focusing on becoming that person, not just achieving an outcome. Powerful. What about for building daily routines, habits?
That's the Habit and Focus template set. It leans heavily on established behavioral principles, trigger mapping and habit stacking.
Okay, break those down. Trigger mapping.
Identifying the cue that currently leads to an unwanted behavior, and then consciously changing that cue or your response to it.
And habit stacking.
That's linking a new habit you want to build directly onto an existing solid habit you already do without thinking. The formula is, after I current habit, I will new habit.
Like after I brush my teeth, I will do 10 push-ups.
Exactly. Or after I pour my morning coffee, I will review my top 3 priorities for the day. It piggybacks on the existing neural pathway, making the new habit much easier to automate. It bypasses willpower.
Clever. And for overall well-being, wellness, growth.
They use a systems thinking approach. Identify your daily non-negotiables across key life pillars, maybe physical, mental, emotional health. What are the absolute minimum actions you must take in each area every day to feel grounded and move forward?
So even on a bad day, if you hit those 3 non-negotiables, you've still made progress.
Precisely. It ensures balance and prevents one area from completely dominating or collapsing.
Okay, let's get super practical. The 5-minute goal achievement quick start guide. You're saying you can lock in a goal in just 5 minutes.
That's the claim. It's a highly structured process to move from vague idea to committed action. Step 1 takes about 2 minutes. Visualization.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Really vividly picture yourself having achieved the goal. How do you look? How do you stand? Crucially, how do you feel? Write down those feelings. You're anchoring the emotional reward.
Connecting to the why. Step 2.
Make it specific. No more, I want to get fit. It has to be measurable. I will lose 8 kilograms in the next 50 days by walking a minimum of 8,000 steps every single day and eating 100 grams of protein daily. See the difference?
Night and day. Specific, measurable, time-bound.
Okay, step 3.
You call this the secret weapon.
It really is. Plan obstacles. This uses implementation intentions. The format is key. When obstacle X happens, then I will pre-plan response Y.
Can you explain why planning for failure essentially works so well?
Because it takes the decision-making out of the moment of weakness or temptation. Willpower is finite, it fails. But if you've already decided, when I feel the urge to skip my walk after work because I'm tired, then I will immediately put on my walking shoes and walk for just 5 minutes. You've preloaded the response.
You've removed the internal debate when you're most vulnerable.
Exactly. Your rational brain made the plan when you were strong. Your tired brain just has to execute the pre-planned action. SWLUX cites research showing this single-step planning for obstacles can literally double your chances of success.
Doubles it. That's incredible. Okay, so visualize, specify, plan obstacles. What's step 4?
Simple but powerful. Sign and date it.
Make it official.
Yeah. Turn that piece of paper from a maybe list into a contract with yourself. That physical act of signing, making it tangible, increases commitment significantly. It's your personal pledge.
So tying this all together, these daily actions, these templates, what are the overarching principles SWX emphasizes for making this discipline stick long-term?
Well, we just touched on physical accountability. Writing goals down, they cite the stat that written goals are 42% more likely to happen than ones you just think about. Writing it down changes something in the brain.
Okay, what else?
The huge one is focus on identity. We talked about the identity shift. Every single action you take, big or small, is like a vote cast for the type of person you want to become. Focusing on being the kind of person who is disciplined lasts way longer than just focusing on achieving a single outcome.
So every time I choose the walk over the couch, I'm voting for healthy person.
Exactly. And those votes add up, which leads to the next principle. Consistency compounds. It's always more powerful than bursts of intense effort or raw talent. Progress, however small, beats waiting for perfection.
You have to be willing to start ugly.
Absolutely. Take the first messy, imperfect action. Don't wait for the perfect conditions, the perfect mood, the perfect plan. Just start. You can refine as you go.
This whole deep dive really hammers it home. It's not about finding more inspiration. We don't need another motivational quote. We need better systems.
Systems that work when the feelings fail. Because they will fail eventually. Discipline is what carries you through.
And that brings us right back to that core mantra and maybe the ultimate safety net they suggest.
Yeah. When you feel that motivation completely drain away, when you feel tired, discouraged, and you just want to quit, don't quit the whole thing. Make a tiny commitment.
The 2-minute commitment.
Just commit to 2 minutes of the planned action. Just put on your running shoes. Just open the document. Just read one page. Often, that tiny start is enough to break the inertia and build momentum. It keeps the vote for your identity alive.
And if even that feels too hard, if the fear or doubt is really loud,
then you pull out that challenge. Maybe even literally text it to yourself. Confront the feeling directly.
Ask yourself,
"Hur darte hej du gör? Why are you scared? What are you really afraid of?" Failure. Discomfort. The system demands you stop letting that fear win. Stop waiting. Bet on yourself. Start with just those next 2 minutes.
that commitment right there to act despite the fear, despite the lack of motivation. That sounds like the very definition of permanent discipline.
That's the goal. Build the system, trust the system, and bet on yourself.
Tired of planning, never doing, stop doing. Start pursuing. You डरता है तू यार, खुद पे दाव लगा. Small steps, real change. This is Lux. Rise up. When motivation fails, our systems never will. Swlux.com, stop scrolling, start doing. Swlux.com, stop scrolling, start doing.